Hello everyone, it's Linda Ockwell-Jenner here again with another SBCN Small Biz Podcast. And this evening I'm very happy to be chatting to Sylvia Greschner, who is the SG Money Coach. Hi Sylvia.
Hi Linda, how are you?
Well, we saw each other last night at a networking event, so I was in a grumpy mood, but much better today. I had 8 hours sleep.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is awesome. And I'm very excited because I've been told that you can help us budget and save some money.
I make every attempt as long as you're willing to do the work.
Oh, I don't want to do any work.
Well, that seems to be the biggest problem with most, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So why did you get into this business? I mean, obviously you must like saving money through budgeting.
I like numbers. You know, numbers have always amazed me, and I've worked with numbers for so many years. And being in the finance department of most of the companies that I worked for, I was always handling money, dealing with money, balancing money, doing cost effectives, projections and whatnot. So it came very easy, very natural. And I run a tight ship at home. So, you know, for me, knowing where my money was cost effective because I always had money there when I needed it.
That's very, very useful, isn't it? I'm very proud of you. So then did you just decide to say, well, I'm going to start my own business to help people?
Well, I actually, in the term, got downsized. They closed our Kitchener office, and I wasn't willing to go up to Markham. So it was, okay, what would I like to do with myself now? And I decided I was done with the corporate world. I didn't want to go back to the routine. And, you know, basically I looked at what expertise do I have that I could share with people. And one thing I can share is how to budget effectively. Manage your money, know where it is, and know what to do with it.
Manage your money, I like that. So how do you persuade people to want to manage their money if it's something we all have difficulty with?
It's not necessarily persuade. It's more of, there I am. What do you do? I'm a money coach. Oh, I could use one of those. Most people can. You know, a lot of times it's just habit or getting back to basics or actually thinking before you make a purchase.
Do we have to keep like lots of bookkeeping books and papers and things like that to be able to do this?
No, I actually, myself, I keep it in one simple spreadsheet. I can open up my bank account, pop open the spreadsheet, transfer numbers. Everything's automatically added for me. I know exactly where I am. I can go back and look at last month, a year ago. I can, you know, analyze exactly how much my fees are going up or my fees are going down, or when something needs to be looked at because it's continuously increasing. I know exactly what I'm spending it on, why I'm spending it. And I can also see the lulls where this past winter, for example, you know, I have no spending because I didn't go out.
That's funny. So I don't want the names of your clients, obviously. I know you're very successful. You've got lots of clients, but what kind of clients come to you for help? I mean, is it one demographic or lots of different demographics?
I have lots of different. I have some seniors. I have some entrepreneurs, some solopreneurs. I have just regular, everyday people that are just tired of never having anything left to save or running from paycheck to paycheck, or their businesses, they're spending more on their business and they're not getting a return on their investment.
That's a really good point. I'm very interested, you know, through the Small Business Community Network in how small businesses can maybe maximize any money they have at the beginning of the business. And if they don't have any money, how they can then start budgeting. Because, I mean, we don't need a lot when we start business, really and truly, I don't think. I think it's a case of, you know, a business plan and, you know, building your brand and stuff like that. So in the case of a brand new business, who, let's make up a demographic. Maybe it's a brand new business. It's a young millennial they rent an apartment and they want to start a business, but they haven't got any capital to start the business, would you be able to help them in that sense to budget for some of the expenses?
Of course, because depending on what business you want to do, you can have minimal expenses to start up, or you can have extravagant. If you're doing a service base, it relates to certain expenses. If you're doing a product base, then of course your expenses are going to go up.
Yeah. So do you help this millennial who's just a pretend person at the moment? Do you say to them, well, you've got to cut down on your personal budgeting? Because I know we shouldn't mix business and personal, but the thing is, they haven't got any business money. So do they have to give up some luxuries in order to, actually make this budget?
Oh, of course.
Of
course.
No.
I mean, technically, you could start a business with nothing. And I mean, the simplest way to start a business is just hang out your shingle, grab a free email account, and, start hitting all the free networking events to connect with people. That is basically no investment on your part at all, except for your time. But it does give you the great opportunity to do research on whether your service or product might actually go to fruition, or whether you should go back home and start again on the drawing board. In that respect, you've got no expense, but you've got a lot of information. But if you've already got something, then you're going out, you might need a few more tools, but the biggest default that I find is a lot of coaches say, oh, you need this and you need this and you need this and you need this, and before you know it, you've put out $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 out of pocket.
That's a big mistake.
And you haven't even looked at your market yet to find out if they even want it.
I agree. But I mean, a millennial has personal expenses that they may not want to give up. Let's name a few. Going to the hair salon, go and have their nails manicured, new clothes. Is that the kind of budgeting you may suggest gently to them that they try and cut down on? Or would it be something different?
I always ask people to review their spending. And generally that's a 30-day process, because without looking at it fully, you don't know.
No.
But just to go ahead and do what you normally do, and then look at it at the end of the month and see what you spent on various different categories.
Coffee?
And when you put it together, when you put it together in a big picture and it stares you in the face and you actually see what you spent on going to a restaurant or going for pedicures, manicures, massages and whatnot else, it's a rude awakening.
It is. And that money could be spent wisely, I guess, to help towards the business. So what other kind of people do you help? Do you help people who are not in business, say maybe someone who's downsizing? We talked about seniors, maybe a couple who've just retired.
They're on the verge of retiring, and unfortunately they didn't quite get the concept of preparing for retirement. And they've got their general expenses, their lifestyle, which they're used to, and now they're not receiving paychecks and all they're getting is pension. There's a lot of adjustments in that.
So what kind of, how would you go about that? Because, I mean, would they have to give up the car maybe? Or say if they've got two cars, would you suggest sharing a car? Is that the kind of advice you give them?
It's quite possible. I mean, if they're using one car more than the other, if one car is starting to deteriorate and is requiring more expense than the other, if they can combine their activities so that they can effectively use one car, then yes, that's a great expense to release yourself from.
It's a very interesting business. To be honest, Sylvia, until I'd met you, I hadn't met anyone else actually doing this line of work. Do you have many competitors?
Online, I'm sure there's a vast majority of them. Money coaches seem to be very prominent out west. There's a few in Toronto. A lot of, per se, money coaching is coming from our financial planners, which, of course, they're working their business as well, because they're trying to help people so that they can invest in their products. I don't sell any financial products whatsoever. If somebody actually wants some, I know tons of people that will, take them further down the road. I just get their money in order, their budget in order, get their savings started, and, put them on a right path.
Now, is this a long process? Are these clients that keep coming back to you, or are they clients that will stay with you for, say, a couple of months and then you never see them again?
Some just need a quick review, where they drop in and they just need to have someone look it over and go, okay, this is what I'm doing wrong. I thought this is what I was doing. I thought this is where I could cut back, but thanks for clarifying, and they're good to go. And I might hear from them periodically when they're thinking about doing something new and interesting. Do you think I can work this, and will it work within my budget, and that kind of stuff. Others, they like the guided trip. They want to go through each and every process separately. So, I break it up. I break it up into 5 steps. And the 5 steps are: let's look at your income as a general. Let's look at your bills. Let's look at your spending. Let's do some planning. And then let's balance it all out. So if they want to take it slow, we definitely can. So sometimes it can take 6 months to a year, depending on how much they're adapt to change, how much they want to give up, and how much they really want to get ahead.
Wow, it's an interesting business. And I bought one of your wonderful books and I passed it on to my daughter. So what gave you the idea? Is this your second book or your first book?
It's the second one. The first one was on budgeting your networking for all my entrepreneur friends to make sure that they're getting a good return on their investments. The money management planner was in the back door. It was something that I had planned to do for the 2019 year. A lot of people, surprisingly, are not wanting to use platforms or apps, or they don't understand Excel. They're still, paper and pen. So by making the planner, it was a book that they could have on their coffee table beside their computer, take with them on a trip.
Easy to use,
It was easy to use.
And it doesn't break when the internet's down or you can't access your computer. It's there. I like the old-fashioned way. When I first met you, like I say, we had a bit of an odd start, didn't we? Because I thought to myself, oh my God, she's so good with money, she's going to scare me because I'm no good with money. and I don't know what you thought of me. I don't want to know. But we've become good friends, haven't we? And I think it's amazing that you can build a business by helping people like this, because it's one of those businesses where you're doing some good, for people. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, the hardest thing of the business itself is financials, and people just, they don't want to disclose, and I can understand that 100%.
It's part of it,
which was one of the reasons that I went into online do-it-yourself courses, where I'll give you all the information you want. You can do it in the privacy of your home. You can work through it at your pace, and if you have any questions, know that I'm there.
Yeah, I think that's really nice, giving people a choice. But then again, that's a bit like financial advisors. They have to declare, otherwise the financial advisor can't help them, can they? Otherwise, well, I don't want to tell you, my budget, how much money and all the rest of it. It's about trust. So you take time to build the trust, don't you, Sylvia?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, you've got to have that trust. And how long have you been operating now, this business?
Wow.
It's a long time.
2 years.
Oh, 2 years.
2 years.
Now, do you find that most of your clients like the face-to-face? And if they do you go to their location or do they come to you?
It's a mix.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll go to them. Sometimes they'll come to me. Sometimes we'll meet in between.
Yeah. Are you enjoying the process?
I do.
Is it better than being in the corporate world?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Well, I don't have, 10 VPs telling me, you can't make us do that,
Well, the other plus is, though, because, as you know, I deal with a lot of small businesses who say, make me rich. And I say it's a process. So you were quite open to the fact that it's a process and you weren't going to be able to, make $1 million in a year and then retire. You knew that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You're one of the sensible ones.
Managing your money is a habit. It's plain and simple. It's a habit, and it's basic. And a lot of people don't like habits, and they don't like going back to basics.
It's funny. Do you think it's like we've taught our children from an early age how to handle their money? They're young adults now. It doesn't mean that they've never mismanaged their money. But do you think it does stem from, maybe the caregivers, the parents, offering them good habits, or doesn't that really make any difference?
Oh, definitely it does. I mean, not to sound rude, but if you hand your children everything on a silver platter and they never learn where the money comes from or how it's earned or how hard someone has to work to get the dollars together, they're not going to understand the concept when they get out there in the real world where their paycheck is gone and all they did was pay the rent.
Because money grows on trees.
Because money grows on trees, because there was always that simple cash flow. On the same note, if parents are having financial difficulties and they're tight-mouthed and they never say anything to their children aren't going to learn about how to get through the tough times.
So I think it's down to the basics. I'd love to chat with you some more, Sylvia, because I'm not sure if you're writing another book, but do you do courses on this? Do you offer courses, seminars, workshops on this kind of thing too?
I do.
So I think we should chat about that next time, because I don't like to keep you too long, because I know you're a busy young lady. But you've really opened my eyes, because until I met you, I didn't know this business existed. But the fact that you can make a successful business out of encouraging or helping people to save money and budget is quite amazing. I'm glad I met you.
Well, I'm glad I met you as well. I mean, you've introduced me to a whole wide variety of professionals, and, it's been great because we all band heads together and, they have their ideas, I have my ideas, and sometimes we get some really good ideas together, which just makes it all that much better.
Oh, that's lovely. Can you share how people can contact you, whether you want to share a website, a phone number, or anything like that, so, people can contact you?
Sure. They can reach me at sgmoneycoach.com, which is my website, or if they want to go to my learning academy, that's at learn.sgmoneycoach.com. And I'm always available by email at sylvia@sgmoneycoach.com, or you can find me on Facebook.
Yeah, and I want to know more about this academy. It sounds absolutely lovely. Well, you have a brilliant night, and we'll catch up again, Sylvia.
For sure. Thanks, Linda.